Good morning, guys. Hope you're having a great day. It's a beautiful day today. It's nice and warm, the sun's shining. Got the morning off, so I'm going for a walk. And I want to talk about raw veganism and how to successfully switch to a raw vegan diet. So I'm going to give you 5 of my best tips to successfully switch to a raw vegan diet. So you can switch if you're already on like a vegan diet and you're switching to raw, or if you're eating like a normal standard American diet and you want to switch, you can do it this way as well. Just take into consideration where you're coming from at the moment. Like if you've been eating a lot of junk and processed food for a long time, give yourself more time to adjust, because your body is used to that. It's going to react a certain way to that when you go off it. So try not to be discouraged if you do have any symptoms, side effects. I didn't. When I switched, I only had benefits. I only had good things. I just had more energy, better digestion, felt great, slept better, more clarity, more productivity. Like, I was just so much more energized, being able to get so much more done. And my workouts were better. I'd recover quicker. I just feel great. Like, my mood was better. And yeah, I had like a great experience. I didn't really struggle with eating fruit and getting rid of the old foods. Like, it was only it was nothing really that I missed. It was only the thought of giving things up that seemed like it would be hard. But when I actually just started eating this way, because I loved fruit so much, and like some raw veggies and nuts and seeds too, it wasn't hard for me. But it may be completely different with you. So always think about like where you're coming from, your situation, and adjust to that. Because yeah, this is just 5 tips to help you. It's no guarantee, but I hope that they'll be useful for you. And yeah, okay, so we'll get into it. So firstly, I want to say, like, why go raw? Like, why go raw? Like, firstly, the main reason why I'm vegan and eating raw food is because it's the best thing for our body and for the animals and for the planet, the environment. So it's the best thing for the entire world, the entire universe. That's how I see it. Like, it's just the way that nature intended. It's the way it should be. And the only reason that we've come away from that is just from all years of evolution in destruction, in thinking that we need more than animals, that we're better. And yeah, that's basically it. It's just we've come such a far way down along the line, and we've made things so complicated, and we've done all these studies and stuff, and people have just become brainwashed into thinking that that's the way it is and that's the way it should be. And that's why we have all these health issues that cause all these problems, and we have to go to the doctor. Like disease isn't normal. Like, we should be healthy. Like, there's no reason for disease. Disease is only there because we create it, because we haven't been doing what is right for us in our nature. And this isn't our fault necessarily, but it is our responsibility to make the changes that we need to do to change our health, and not just for ourselves, but for the animals, for our planet, for other people around us, to be a good role model for other people as well. That's why I'm doing it. The main reason. I absolutely love it. I would never go back to, definitely I would never go back to eating meat, like non-vegan. And I wouldn't even go back to eating cooked foods. I'm completely off cooked foods now. But like, having said that, I'm not so strict with, like, if I really felt the craving to eat cooked foods one night, I wouldn't worry about it. I would just eat some cooked veggies or whatever it is, because it's not an ethical thing with that. It's more just a health thing. I just might suffer from some poor digestion that day, but it's not such a big deal. but I would never go back to eating meat or dairy or eggs or anything, fish. I just can't do it. I can't even imagine that. Like, it's not like food to me anymore. So yeah, if you're already vegan, you might resonate with that. And yeah, so that's my main reason. Other reasons are fruit and raw food tastes great, and when you get off all the processed foods that have all the additives, preservatives in them that you're used to having, which is why you want to have them more if you're used to eating that way. When you get off all of that, your taste buds become more sensitive and you can really taste the food for what it is, and then you enjoy simple food so much more. Like, it may seem too simple or too boring. Like, wouldn't you get sick of eating fruit and just plain veggies and never cooking food? No, because it tastes great. It's good for you, makes you feel good. I would never get sick of it. I can never get sick of eating fruit. I could just eat mangoes the rest of my life, and I think I'd be pretty happy with that. But a bit of variety, like some different fruits, is good. So I probably won't just stick to mangoes for the rest of my life, but I'm just saying that I could. And yeah, so it's simple and easy. Like, you don't have to spend much time cooking. Like, I always hated cooking. Like, I would like to cook to try new things and to know what's in my food and to experiment, but I didn't really enjoy cooking, so it's such a relief now to not need to cook and just cut up a few fruits. Sometimes I'll blend things together. I'll make a smoothie. I might make a sauce. But that's it. That's all I have to do. It doesn't take long. It's easy to clean up. There's no mess. It's not gross or anything. So that's another benefit. Another major benefit for me, and one of the main reasons what actually led me into going raw was because of my digestion. Because I was suffering from a lot of bloating and wasn't feeling good, wasn't digesting food very well. And that actually led me to reach out for fruit, and then I found out about fruitarianism, and that's how I got into it, basically. And it's healed me like completely. I just feel so much better now with digestion, and because my digestion's better, everything else is better. Because your gut, if it's clogged up, it affects your life in so many ways, because your stomach affects your emotions, basically. So if you're clogged up and you're sick, it's going to affect your mind as well, which will affect your mood and affect your behavior. So it doesn't seem like much, but it's a really big factor in your life. And this is why there's a lot of mental issues in society as well. So I won't go into that too much here. But yeah, it's a big deal. So yeah, digestion is better, sleep is better, mental clarity, like I said, I'm more productive. Like, productivity is better because you're feeding your body what it needs. It's more energized, and your mind is working better when you have that, because you need sugar for your brain to work, like good sugar, fructose, not refined sugars, not processed foods, because they had the opposite effect. They'll actually drive you crazy. Like, that was for me. Like, if I have any like sweets or anything, I notice it because I'm used to eating this way for so long now. It really affects me. So it does have that effect. But the good sugars in fruit, when you eat it from the fruit itself, it's what your brain runs on. Your body thrives on this. Like, I have more energy to do workouts and I recover quicker. Like, it's just so much better. And yeah, there are heaps of other benefits as well, but I'll get into my main tips now. So tip number 1 is give yourself time, like I mentioned, and that can be however much time you need, depending on how you feel about it. Will depend on how much time you should give yourself. Like, give yourself a month, or give yourself 6 months if you need. Give yourself a year. Give yourself 2 years if you need to. If you're transitioning all the way from eating a lot of meat, because you may like be somebody that, because there's a lot of being information, like if you've been trying to lose weight, you may have been experimenting with eating like keto and stuff, and that's definitely not going to be good for you. And if you found out about this and you want to change from that, it may or may not, depending on you, be difficult. So give yourself a lot of time if you're transitioning from like eating a lot of meat, or like processed foods, or a completely different diet to this. Give yourself as much time as you need, because if you try to make the switch like cold turkey too much, one, it's really difficult, and two, you're more likely to go back because you're not letting your body adjust, you're not letting your mind adjust to it. You're more likely to crave the other foods if you're not ready to make the change. Like, it may be that way. It may not be. You may be able to go cold turkey and be fine. So, depending on you, you know what's best for you. But I basically I said I'd give myself a year if I need to go completely raw from eating a vegan diet. And I've been eating vegan for 2 years before going raw. Although I gave myself this amount of time, I didn't actually need it. I was only eating cooked foods for 2 months after. And the only reason I was really eating these foods was because I still had them in my pantry. So I had like some rice and pasta and stuff, and I was just clearing all that cooked food up because I didn't want to throw it away, and it wasn't too much. So I was using that as my way to transition, to say goodbye to any old food. So like, if there's any particular food at the moment that you love, what I suggest doing is allowing yourself to eat that food as much as you want, like in one meal or one day or whatever, and then you'll probably get sick of it, and then and say to yourself, this is the last time I'm going to eat it, so I'm going to enjoy it, and then I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I'm going to focus on eating the fruit now. I'm going to focus on eating the raw foods. So that's one thing you can do, because if you just go completely away from it and you haven't like allowed yourself to adjust, you're more likely to crave it and want to go back. So, and if you do ever have a craving for cooked food in the future, like allow yourself to eat that if you need to satisfy the craving, so then you can move on from it. That's my suggestion. I've always said that to myself, and although I haven't actually needed to go back and eat cooked foods from craving them, I've made that decision that it's going to be okay. I'm not going to beat myself up about it because it's not that big a deal. But, yeah, because of my digestion, I know it's going to suffer if I eat that food. And I don't really enjoy eating the food anymore, so I wouldn't eat it. I like eating fruit. And, yeah, so give yourself time. If you want to go completely straight ahead, make the switch cold turkey, give it a try. But just keep those things in mind. And if you just need a month or two, give yourself a month or two. My next point is to clean out your cupboards for any cooked foods that you already have, or like if you're not vegan, like any meats and that, clean it out, throw it away, give it away, whatever, or allow yourself to have it while you make the change. Like I said, that's what I did, because I just had a few things, so I allowed myself to have whatever was there, and some of the things I gave away that I didn't want. And then once that's gone, I won't buy any more. I'm just going to be buying the fruit and the veggies and the nuts and seeds, and stick to that. And that worked for me. It worked out pretty well. So give that a try. And yeah, go shopping. Write out a list of all your favorite fruits, any vegetables you like, and some vegetables that are fruits, like tomatoes, cucumbers, they're actually fruits. You can eat some other raw veggies if you want, but veggies are harder to digest, so that's why I mainly eat fruit, because that's what we're meant to eat. We're not actually meant to eat veggies too much because they don't digest as well. We're not herbivores, we're frugivores, which means our diet consists mainly of fruit, some nuts and seeds, and some veggies, but mainly fruit. So go out and buy all the fruits that you love. That worked so well for me because I love mangoes. So I bought so many mangoes, And I stocked up on those. I put some in the fridge, freezer. Bananas, papayas, bought lots of berries as well. I bought just normal fruits, apples, oranges. I bought everything, and I just kept buying more, making sure that I had enough. Always make sure you have enough so you're not tempted. Like, I'm just walking back here around. So you're not tempted to eat other foods. Because if you're not hungry, then you won't be craving those other foods that you're used to eating, or that maybe your family and friends are still eating. Because it may be hard if you surround yourself too much with people that are eating meat at first. So try to do this. Find my next point, actually, which I'll go into now. So like, my next point is find like-minded people. If you know any vegans or raw vegans especially, go and hang out with them, spend time with them, ask them for their advice, eat food with them. That way you have more support. If you don't have anybody, what I recommend you do is go online and find people on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Research them on Google, like doctors especially. Check out Dr. Morse. He's a doctor that promotes this diet. He's really good. I've looked up a lot of his stuff and read some of his books. So check him out and check other people out. Check out anybody you find that resonates with you online, and talk to them, get in contact with them. Just follow them, try their ideas. Do that because that way you're building a social community around yourself, even if it's not like physically around you. You're building it around you so it seems more normal for you. Because the reason it could be hard or seem so hard, like at least for me, the reason that I thought it would be so hard was just because it was so different from the norm of everybody. Like, I don't currently know anybody physically, like in my area, that is a raw vegan. But I know quite a few vegans, so that's been helpful. And for raw vegans, I looked online for that. And I still use that as a support system now, but I've become used to this enough myself that I haven't really cared about what people think anymore. But do that because that was a big switch that I had to make in my mind, because we're social creatures, and we often think like the herd. So thinking and being different can be really hard sometimes, but because it felt right in my heart, it wasn't that I didn't want to do it. It was just that it didn't seem right to other people because I cared too much what other people think. So if that is something that seems similar to you, if you are struggling with that, then this point is going to be major for you. Just find as many people as you can, because that really helped me. I looked up like Ted Carr, and I started following him, and got a lot of advice from him. So he helps, and then I looked up like Fully Raw Christina and heaps of other vegan YouTubers, and that are all thriving, they're all healthy, they're all living the life on this diet, and I know that it's good for me then. And I know it's good for me from my personal experience of doing it now as well. But when I hadn't done it, that helped me. And athletes as well, because I'm also a trainer. I looked up some athletes. There's Michael Arnstein. He's a triathlete. Look him up if you're into sports. And yeah, so that was another thing. Find a community. Stick with the community. Stay away from other people if you need to. I'm not saying to isolate yourself. I didn't isolate myself, but I just spent a bit less time with people who weren't vegan just in the first few weeks to really get my mind into it and to not be discouraged by anybody. And then once I started doing it enough to be more confident about it, then now I go out with my friends and my family, and I just eat fruit with them, and whether they care or not, I don't even know, because I don't care, but it's not bothered me. It doesn't affect my relationships or anything. So that's another point. And lastly, know why you're doing it. This is the biggest thing. You have to know why you're doing it, and you probably already do if you're interested in this and you're watching this video. So know why it is. Whatever it is, if it's something specific that happened to you, if you want to get rid of a health issue, or if you're doing it purely for the animals because you watched a documentary or the planet, or whatever it is for you, know that in your heart, write it down, or remind yourself of it every day. Especially remind yourself of it if you ever become discouraged and you feel like you want to eat cooked foods, or you're around people that like they don't understand why you're doing this. Remind yourself of why you're doing it, and believe in yourself, stand up for yourself. You need to. I don't recommend going around and preaching to other people about it. Just keep it to yourself, and if they're interested, then tell them and share your experience and how great it's been so far in that. But otherwise, listen to other people and consider where they're coming from too, because you don't want to create any conflict or anything, or think that you're better than other people or something, or people will change in time, so you've got to maintain your relationships, and maybe in the future, give it a year, give it a few years, your friends may be coming to you for advice on diet and veganism and going raw and all that as well. So yeah, they're all my tips. So yeah, so give yourself plenty of time, clean out your cupboards, go shopping, buy plenty of raw foods, all the fruits that you like, so you'll be wanting to eat them. Find your community online or in person, or both, as much as you can. Like, go out to events with other raw vegans. Sorry, I'm actually going to Canada Fruit Fest in August, and I'm in Australia. I live in Australia, and I'm flying over to Canada to go to this. So I'm really excited because I'm going to meet heaps of other raw vegans there. So yeah, that's one thing that I'm doing as well that's going to help me. So do something like that if you need to, whatever it is, because that's how much it means to me. Like, I'm going to do whatever it is to find more people like-minded. So yeah. So I will do a video when I'm traveling. I'll do a travel vlog for you guys. And yeah, stay in tune for that. And yeah, the last point was to remind yourself why you're doing it as often as you need to, every day. And yeah, stay fit, stay healthy, believe in yourself, keep eating raw, you're gonna love it, but good luck with it. If you need any help at all, I'm gonna put a link below, and I offer coaching for assistance for switching to a raw vegan diet. So if you need any help, just click that link and we'll be in contact. Alright, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.